We are here to talk about getting the life you want. If this interests you, then you got to watch this live. I was a few minutes late. I had a phone call this morning, but now I am here. Figures the one time I posted in my stories that I was a few minutes late. We're talking about manifestation prayer, whatever that you resonate with. You can certainly call it, because it is the same thing. Energy and prayer, or manifestation and prayer, are just focused energy, right? So no matter what you want to call it, it is focused energy. It is changing energy, right? Grand Rising, everybody. So if you want to change and manipulate energy, that's what we do here. And you can call it whatever you want to call it. This is not about religion. This is not about anything woo-woo or weird. This is just what we are as energetic beings. And I have learned how to manipulate energy, but at the same time, these things are still very challenging for me. And I've been doing this for years now. It gets easier, right? Once you start to do this, it does get easier. But are there things that you're still facing that are very challenging, even though you're like, but I changed my mindset about this? And the weird thing is, I was at my sister's house and I saw this book on her desk, because she has a million books just like I do. She's been collecting for way longer, but it's called The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity by Catherine Ponder. Catherine Ponder has a lot of really, really great inspirational guidance when it comes to this. But she comes from, I would say, a more possibly religious perspective or spiritual perspective, in the same way that Neville Goddard does. A lot of these teachers actually do. But when I was reading this book, it's so funny that everything is divine timing, right? Everything comes at the perfect timing in our lives, about how to move forward without forgiveness. And it's not possible. So I'm not saying that she's teaching you how to move forward without forgiving someone. Thank you, Karen. I love all my people that are always in here every Monday and Friday. Thank you guys for always showing up. I'm just going to read the back of this book. You've heard much in recent years about positive thinking. Out of the recessions and lean years, another term has been born: prosperous thinking. The word prosperous means to flourish, succeed, thrive, to experience favorable results. So this book teaches you about prosperous thinking. And it doesn't have to do with money. It's prosperous in money and abundance. It's prosperous in love. It's prosperous in happiness, in having all the things that you really want. I want you guys to answer this. How many people right now have the exact dream life that they want? Please comment this and be honest. If you're saying I'm working on it, if you're saying absolutely not, if you're saying I have the dream life and I love it. Imagine that we were taught these skills as a child in school. Imagine that we were able to be so powerful that we learn from childhood. I'll give you an example. Thank you, Karen. Nope, she says nope. Happy birthday, Julie. Sandy says, I'm working on it. Working on my dream life. Lou says, not at all. Not yet, but working on it. And that's all of us. Hopefully, we're all a work in progress. There's many people that just accept their life as it is because they don't realize or understand that we are here. Part of our job is to be able to manipulate energy and figure out how to do it. So if we can do that here, all of you then can teach other people that yes, it's possible. That when you go see that one friend that constantly complains all the time, you can tell them that they have another option. There are some people that just love to complain and be in their own misery. And those some people will probably never change. They can't even conceive of change in life. But if you guys are here and you guys are listening, I'm working on my dream life. It's amazing. Mary, I love it. If you're here and you're listening, I know it's because you also want to transform your energy. You want to change your dynamic in this reality. And I've changed my dynamic so much that sometimes I'm just like, wow, this is really crazy. Like never having to worry about money or never having to worry about how something shows up because I picture it in my mind first of how I want it to go. Does it always unfold in the way that I want to? No, but what do we talk about? When it's not your desired end, it's not the end. Neville Goddard talks about that all the time. So if you're manifesting something very specific or you're praying for something very specific and you're coming from the space of gratitude of already having that, like, thank you, God, for showing me that I can have the most amazing job, or thank you so much that I have this amazing, beautiful family, even if you're living at home by yourself. It's showing the gratitude because it's reprogramming the subconscious mind. And what I was going to say about learning in school is that Bruce Lipton always says, show me the boy until he's 7 and I will show you the man. And I want to tell you why this is such a powerful statement. If any of you know this statement, please write what you believe that it is about in the comment section. Show me the boy until he's 7 and I'll show you the man. Our subconscious mind is incredibly programmable, or the most programmable, by the ages of 0 to 7. It's the most impressionable. So if you hear people saying certain things from that age, or in that time that you're growing up, it's impressing the subconscious mind with those beliefs. So if it's, we can't afford that, you just can't have that. Why don't you have any friends? No one's going to like you. Or if someone is always abandoning you, or if your mother and father didn't show you the love that you deserved, you will believe, I'm not lovable. If you were bullied as a kid, it's, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, or whatever it might be for you. But from 0 to 7 is when we're most impressionable, and that's when our computer, our supercomputer, absorbs or uploads all of these programs. And Bruce Lipton, I was watching him last night, and he was talking about this, and he was saying, so many people are not having or living the life that they want because they are living from their 7-year-old self's beliefs. We are living from 95% of our programming is negative. So if 95% of our programming is negative, if 95% also of what we live is from the subconscious programming, I should have put that on mute. If we live from 95% of our subconscious programming that are things that do not serve us, we are then manifesting and attracting that energy to us with programming that we don't even want. Maybe if your parents were never around and they neglected you, maybe your I am is, I am not chosen. So the rest of your life, you go around thinking that you are not chosen. How is that serving you? But most people will never know this information and why their life is unfolding in the way that it is. So in order for us to get the life we want, we have to change that programming. We have to change the thoughts of our I am not good enough. I am not worthy. Someone in here, I think it was Amy maybe. I am annoying. She said, my mom always used to tell me that she was annoying. So then what happened later on in life, she didn't use her voice. She would just let things happen and unfold and not say anything. Because her I am was, I am annoying. So there's that programming from childhood. That's my fault. It's my responsibility to put my phone on mute. Okay, now it has to go on mute. Okay. Now it's on mute. Okay. So it's, or you have endured all the above and more. It's a shit ton of work to work through and turn around. It's a lot of work, but if you want to have all the things that you want in your life, you will work on reprogramming things one by one. So even if you have a lot of stuff, you have a lot of shit going on that's programmed that you don't want to be there, you don't have to reprogram all of it at the same time. Take things day by day. Take one program that you want to remove. Work on that, then work on the next one. Or you could just say, I'm worthy of having all great things. Every time you think negatively of yourself or whatever, I am worthy of having all great things. I am worthy of being loved. I am worthy of a most amazing relationship. In order to get the things that you want, you have to change your mindset. You have to change the things that you were taught to believe about yourself, or you were programmed to believe about yourself. Even if it's not true, because our programming from childhood, none of it's true. That programming is from somebody else. Unless it's amazing and great things. You know, when you see these cute videos of little girls or little boys and their family or their parent is like walking through them with affirmations. I'm amazing. I am powerful. Yes, that's what we want to embody as human beings, right? Yes, Angel, I am worthy of all great things. We have to shift and change out of that mindset to get the life that we want. It's not going out there and finding it. It's going in here and finding it. It's digging up who you really are. Before someone programmed you, when you were born as a baby, you weren't born with hate in your heart. Right? So we all have the ability to do this. It's just a matter of if you want to actually do it. Because it does take work. But listen, on the other side of all that work is an amazing life, is having all the things that you want. Right? Like I manifested him. Not even because I wanted a dog. I never even thought about having a dog ever. But during a very difficult time, I manifested him because I needed that unconditional love at the time that I had him come into my life. Because I didn't buy him. Someone bought him for me. Didn't tell me. I didn't ask for one. And he showed up. It's energy. Energy doesn't lie. Energy can't lie. So even if you... Okay, so we say fake it till you make it, right? Even with energy. Because our subconscious mind doesn't care what we're thinking. It just believes things through repetition. Just like your ABCs. It's in your subconscious mind. It's no longer in the conscious mind, it's in the subconscious mind. Okay? So we repeat our ABCs over and over again as a child until we know them forever. Until the day you die, you will know your ABCs because they are in your computer program. So if you want to reprogram your mind with all the things that you want, it's repetition. I spoke to you guys about robotic affirming. Some people, will agree with this. Some people won't, but I know that it works because I proved it to myself. Robotic affirming is taking one affirmation, taking 2 or 3 times a day, 10 minutes each, set a timer, and you just robotically say these things over and over again. Whatever it is. Whether it's about a relationship, whether it's about having the perfect life, whether it's about I have the perfect job, you repeat that affirmation over and over again. Over and over again. Thank you. And you set a timer for 10 minutes. I was doing it 3 times a day because I'm like, I'm going to get this shit a lot faster. So, for 10 minutes, 3 times a day, I did what I believed was the impossible. I'm like, there's no way that this is going to happen. There's no way that this is going to happen. And within 3 days, it was 2.5 days, I manifested the thing that I was robotically affirming. So if it's a job, if it's a person that's not showing up the way you want them to, you come up with one simple affirmation. Maybe it's I'm in a loving and harmonious relationship, and you say that over and over and over again. I am working my dream job at X, Y, and Z, and you just repeat it over and over and over again, right? Robotic affirmation will get you results faster than you can even understand. You won't even believe it because it happened so fast. Something that I truly believed, I was like, this is impossible. Never going to happen. But I was committed. I was committed to this robotic affirming because I was watching someone talk about it. And she's like, if I want to get my dream house, if I want to get this, if I want to get that, she's like, I don't have 9 months. I don't have 2 years. I don't have 3 months to manifest something. I'm going to robotically affirm. I don't care how much time it takes out of my day. If that means I'm going to get it within a week or a couple of days compared to a year or 2 years or 7 months or 6 months or whatever it is, I'm going to do that. So I was like, I got to commit to this robotic affirming. And sure as shit, 2.5 days later, I manifested the literal impossible. I mean, nothing's impossible, but to me, in my mind, it was this big thing like, oh my God, how am I going to get this? And I got it. So robotic affirming is something that you guys should write down and take notes about and look it up on YouTube, robotic affirming, and they'll get more into detail about it. So where was I here? Where did I start? Okay, I started here. This is the Dynamic Laws of Prosperity by Catherine Ponder. So of course, I opened the book last night to chapter 3, the vacuum law of prosperity. This is going to be really helpful. So you've heard it said that nature abhors a vacuum. It is particularly true in the realm of prosperity. The vacuum law of prosperity is one of the most powerful, though it takes bold, daring faith to set it into operation, as well as a sense of adventure and expectation to reap its full benefits. When a person is honestly trying to be prosperous, is thinking along prosperous lines, and still fails, it's usually because he needs to invoke the vacuum law of prosperity. Basically, the vacuum law of prosperity is this. If you want great good, greater prosperity in your life, start forming a vacuum to receive it. In other words, get rid of what you don't want to make room for and make room for what you do want. So it's a vacuum. You're vacuuming all of the stuck energy around you, whether it's even energy inside of you. What does a vacuum do? It clears out a space. It sucks everything up. Get rid of what you don't want to make room for what you do want. If there are clothes in the closet or furniture in your home or office that no longer seem right for you, if there are people among your acquaintances and friends that no longer seem that you need them, begin moving the tangible and intangibles out of your life in the faith that you can have what you really want and desire. Often it is difficult to know what you do want until you get rid of what you don't want. That's a big one. A couple weeks ago, I was like, I'm getting rid of all this shit. Anything that I don't need, it's going, it's out, right? I had 2 human-sized trash bags full of clothes and shoes and jackets. And the people that I gave it to, like, do you still have anything in your closet? Like, I mean, it was a shit ton. I don't even know where this stuff was. I don't know where it even fit in there. But there's still tons of stuff in my closet, and there's still things that I need to also get rid of. But we do this so that we can make more room for things in our life that we actually do want. Those sweaters, the pants that you haven't worn in 6 years. Oh, but I might out. We're making room for the things that we actually do want. And just energetically, you can't bring in more things when you're at capacity, whether it's mentally, whether it's physically in your space. When it's in your refrigerator. I just threw out a bunch of shit in my refrigerator that I won't even tell you was in there. But your mind knows what the clutter is. Your mind knows where the clutter is. And when you have the clutter, your mind knows it's there, so it can't make room for anything else because it's like, there's too much shit in here already. And when you finally do that spring cleaning or whatever season you want to call it, you're just like, oh, I feel so much better now. It's like, yeah, no shit. And it's the same thing for you. Like, wow, it's just so much better. Like, I just know that it's not there anymore. I know that I don't even resonate with those things anymore. Why do I have it? Gotta go. Next is all my cabinets. There's just random things in my cabinets. They have to go. Because I'm making room to go somewhere bigger. So I have to get rid of it. Inevitably, in your life experiences, you will find that when the good wish you has not appeared, it is usually because you need to release and let go of something to make room for it. New substances do not flow easily into a cluttered situation. Let's repeat that again. New substances, no matter what it is, a person, a thing, anything, do not flow easily into a cluttered situation. Are you cluttered in your mind? Are you cluttered in your space? Are you cluttered in your car? How many people's car is an absolute wreck? Mine, I hate to say it, but it is. I got to get rid of so much shit in my car that shouldn't even be in there. I want to achieve harmony in all my spaces, even my barn. Yes, Joel, exactly. We all need to achieve harmony in all of our spaces. If you want greater good in your life, what are you letting go of or getting rid of to make room for it? If we want greater good in our life, what are we letting go of? Every single one of us that's listening right now can get rid of something. I'm going to start decluttering my home today. That's what I like to hear. Because I got to get rid of a bunch of shit too. It's got to go. I don't care where it goes. It just has to go. I gave away thousands of dollars worth of clothes, things that had tags on it that were hundreds of dollars. I'm like, I don't care. I don't resonate with this anymore. It's got to go. And I gave it to someone who really needed it or wanted it. I said, I don't care if you sell this stuff. I don't care if you make money from this stuff. It's going. I don't care what happens to it. It's out of here. It's out of my space, right? So again, if you want greater good in your life, what are you letting go of or getting rid of to make room for it? Nature does abhor a vacuum. And when you begin moving out of your life what you don't want, you automatically are making way for what you do want. By letting go of the lesser, you automatically make room for your greater good to come in. This is people too. I'm sorry to tell everybody. If there are people in your life that are draining you of energy, robbing you of happiness, or anything, they gotta go too. And if people are doing this work, a lot of times they'll literally just float out of your life on their own. But sometimes, a lot of times energetically when we shift, people just can't come with us. But sometimes we hold on to those people. Even though our energy is changing, we hold on to these people for dear life because we don't want to let go of them. But if they're no longer resonating with you anymore, or with your energy, or with your work, or with the things, or with the direction that you're trying to go in your life, we got to allow them to go. I have a 10 things out rule. So I have to get rid of 10 things a day until I feel uncluttered, even if it's just some piece of mail I've been hanging on to. That's great too. Piece of mail. That's a perfect example. There's a ton of shit that needs to be thrown out. 10 things a day until you feel great. Love it. We can all do 10 things a day. That's not overwhelming. Some people are like, oh my God, where am I going to start? There's so much stuff. 10 things. Thank you for saying that. Who was that? Tina, thank you for that. 10 things a day. Recently, a couple used this vacuum law of prosperity in furnishing their new home. From their former home, they brought only furniture they really liked and felt appropriate for their new atmosphere. They fearlessly gave away a great deal of their old furniture and simply left bare spaces in their new home, visualizing those spaces filled with the kind of furniture that they definitely wanted. So that goes with our visualization, right? They only saw their space with the things that they wanted. That's what I did in here. For a while, nothing seemed to happen, but they remained steadfast to their vision of beautiful, appropriate new furniture. Then one day, the husband, who works for a large company, was placed on a merit point system. As he produced certain prosperous results for his company, his points of merit increased. These points could be applied toward a number of tangible rewards, one of it which was furniture. A businessman had been trying for a number of months to sell his home because he was transferred to another state. He heard about the vacuum law of prosperity and realized that though he had earnestly desired to sell his home for a number of months, he had nothing to form a vacuum of any kind through which his desired good could be manifesting. And so he sat down quietly in his study one day and mentally pictured each room of the house as empty, just as it would look after the house had been sold and he had moved out. He visualized a vacuum of emptiness everywhere. He then made notes concerning the furniture mover he desired to handle the moving and mentally worked out all the details, planned the move just as though the house was already sold. Within a few days, a buyer appeared who liked everything about the house and gave him a check for the thousands of dollars equity as well as the down payment involved. So this is how powerful that our mind is. When we do our visualizations, right, and we envision the things just as we want them, the universe starts to move things around. It's literally like a puzzle piece. We're putting the puzzle pieces together. It's like, okay, this doesn't really fit here. This works there. That's what the universe is doing once we decide what it is that we want exactly. And then we have no idea where it's going to come from. We don't know what direction that it's going to come from. We just know it's going to come from somewhere because we have the blind faith that it's going to happen. So what can you use that vacuum for? It's in all things. I love her take on all this stuff. Okay, we're going to stop at that point today. What's the other thing that I wanted to talk about? Releasing is magnetic. Okay, we'll do this one. Fine. Are you clinging to the thought of how some troublesome situation in your life could be made right? What shape and form the solution should take? Then release, lose, and let go. Declare to the situation of person or personalities involved, I release, lose, let go, and let God. Do not be fearful of letting go. Nothing can ever be lost through spiritual release. Instead, your own good and the good of all concerned is much freer to move into your life. Through release, your power of attracting good is greatly increased. One word of caution here about attitudes towards the tangible things you release. I once felt led to go through my closet and give away most of the clothes to my sister. These clothes were perfectly good, but I had tired of them, and no new clothes had recently appeared. So I felt by passing them on, I was making way for new clothes. This is good. After mailing these clothes to her, I felt happy and expectant about the new clothes I was sure that I would manifest. But for a number of weeks, nothing happened. Finally, I realized that I was still mentally hanging on to the clothes I had sent her, thinking, if I had that dress or suit I sent my sister, I'd wear it today. It was then necessary for me to re-release what I thought I had already released. In my mind, I went over every item I had sent her and declared to each individual piece of clothing mentally, I fully and freely release you. I completely lose you and let you go. So far as I am concerned, you have served your purpose in my wardrobe and I no longer need you. You are now in your perfect place. Thereafter, new and more beautiful clothes appeared in my closet very, very fast. It was as though a magnetic influence had gone to work for me. A friend who knew nothing of my empty closet quietly came to me and said, I have some money I want to share with you. When I prayed about what to do with this particular amount, the only thought that kept coming to me was that I should give it to you, perhaps for some clothes. You appear well supplied with clothes, but the thought persisted, and so here it is with my blessing. That started the flow of substance, which then came to me from here, there, and everywhere. Some articles I had written had not been accepted, and so in a doubtful but hopeful mind, I had revised them weeks earlier and resubmitted them. Now they were accepted, and I was paid. Several people saw items while shopping and thought, that looks like Catherine. They purchased them for me as gifts. In each instance, it was an item of clothing I'd been mentally imagining as hanging in that closet. Manifesting things can come from anywhere. Once you put the idea in motion in your mind and you do not waver. Like you saw what she said. She said, I gave all this stuff away and I didn't receive anything in return because she was holding on to it. Why didn't I have it? Why didn't I get this yet? Why didn't the love of my life show up yet? Why don't I have my perfect job yet? When you are thinking like that, you are thinking from a state of lack. Your energy can only be mirrored. So if your energy is, why don't I not have this? Why does this person have this and I don't? You're only going to get more of not having. But as soon as she released those things, and she said, I released them and they're in the arms of somebody perfect, and my sister looks amazing wearing these. I released these and I let these go freely. Thank you for serving the purpose in my life. And then you stop thinking about it. You stop dwelling on things. When you dwell on something, it means you don't have it. You don't dwell on the things that you already have. Unless it's in gratitude, like, oh my God, I'm so grateful for my new car. I absolutely love it. So when we learn to release and let go of things, we are making room for the things that we want to bring in. If both your hands are full carrying things, and someone saw you, would they be like, oh, here, can you take that up for me too? No, they're not going to ask you to do anything, right? They're going to just let you pass by, and then when you have more room in your hands, they're going to say, hey, can you help carry this? Help me carry this. That's what the universe says. Oh, your hands are full. I'm sorry, I can't give you any more. But when you release all these things, whether it's mental clutter in your head, thoughts, things around you, when you release those things, you make room for more. So we're going to conclude there today. I love you all and thank you for joining. I will, of course, repost this. The book is The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity by Catherine Ponder. A lot of really great things in there. We all have work to do. We all have things that we need to declutter in our life. Start today. Tina said 10 things a day until you feel like you're decluttered. So I'm going to do my 10 things, probably be more. Right? So have an amazing Monday. I'll see you guys this week. Neck is feeling much better because I demanded it. I commanded my subconscious to say my neck's going to feel absolutely fine the next day. And it did. I'll see you guys this week. Lifewave people, I'll see you all tonight at 9 p.m. And yeah, time to declutter.